Today, we review NXT Vengeance Day and hashtag we want Cody. All right, here we are, NXT Vengeance Day post show. We're about to review it, give you my reaction, and at the end, we'll talk a little bit about the hashtag we want Cody. All right, so let's just get straight into it. NXT Vengeance Day. I have to admit that I haven't been watching NXT as much lately as I had been. I had just been too busy, and there's just too many things to watch just in wrestling world itself, let alone of all the other things I like to watch with my kids and I like to watch with my wife. So NXT has kind of fallen to the wayside for me. It used to be my most favorite show. It's still one of my favorites. I just haven't had as much time for it lately, so I haven't been catching all the weekly episodes as I normally would have in the past. But let's talk about Vengeance Day, because I did watch Vengeance Day. And to start out the show, we started with the Dusty Classic of Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker versus Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. You know the story that going into this one. Can Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams coexist? They're best of friends, but you know their relationship has been rocky, with Trick Williams going after the championship, Carmelo Hayes being jealous of that, Trick Williams thinking maybe it was Carmelo Hayes that attacked him to prevent him in a title shot in the past. And so that's the kind of story going into this one. Baron Corbin, Braun Breaker. You know, Baron Corbin's a good wrestler. You know, it's not bad for him to be in NXT, and you know, it seems like just a random matchup, but you know, or a random team up, but you know, why not? Just for the heck of it, just for the fun. Dusty Cup Classic, why not? You know, while watching this match, it was very obvious that it is time for Carmelo, Trick, and Braun. They all need to get up to the main roster yesterday. They're all ready. I mean, Carmelo Hayes is just so good in the ring. Braun Breaker as well, good in the ring and so intense in the ring. I love it. Trick Williams, I mean, yeah, he's out of the three of them, he's not the best in the ring, but just the charisma alone is worthy of being up on the main roster. So that's the main thing coming out of this match, is just watching them. Is yes, they all need to be up there. You could tell again during this match, Trick still has a lot of work to do in the ring, but it wasn't bad. And you know, especially being in a tag team, that kind of helped him out a little bit during this match. There was a lot of good tag team, you know, moves and like teamwork during this match. I always really enjoy that in tag team matches, rather where, you know, a lot of times where you have these kind of tag teams, I mean, and face it, this is both teams. Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker, those are single wrestlers that are just paired up to make a tag team randomly, right? Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, while they are, you know, storyline best friends, it's still kind of random. They're singles wrestlers now, you know, doing a tag team thing, but they did a good job of making sure everybody actually utilized the, you know, team part of being a tag team and actually doing team moves and tagging in and out, you know, strategically. I like the psychology of that when you're actually watching tag team matches, so that was good. And you know, overall it was good. Again, like I said, you got to see everything you wanted to see. You saw the great moves from Carmelo. You saw the charisma from Trick. You know, Baron Corbin, again, very underrated in the ring. You got to see him do his stuff in the ring. And then Braun Breaker, I just loved seeing his intensity in the ring. I mean, you saw tonight he was running those ropes so intensely that, like, when he hit the ropes, it snapped so far back that it, like, almost took his head off. But But yeah, in the end of this one, Carmelo ends up taking a spear for Trick, so that um, Trick will be able to be healthy for the match against Dragonov later in the night, and this allows Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker to get the win. Backstage later on, they kind of show how this played out for them in their friendship wise, whereas now Trick is like, hey, goes up to Carmelo Hayes and it's like, hey, you know what? Thanks for doing that for me. You know what? I know before I said I wanted to go out there and do this alone and be on my own, but you obviously stepped up for me, so I want you to be at ringside and come out with me when I go out to the ring. So that became the plan. All right, so that was that match and kind of what happened backstage afterwards. Let's go ahead and get to match number 2 on the night. This was Dijak versus Joe Gacy in a no holds barred match. This was just, and I guess I'll say it here now since I didn't say it in the beginning, but just kind of overall, NXT Vengeance Day was just so for me. It was not one of the better NXT pay-per-views in my eyes. I mean, there was nothing really bad on it, but there was nothing really that great either. It just wasn't you know, it wasn't the same level of NXT pay-per-views that you're used to. I mean, I remember back in the day, and this was for years, like for years with Black and Gold. It felt like every weekend that their pay-per-views fell on the weekend of a main roster pay-per-view, it was always like, well, actually the NXT pay-per-view was better. I am guessing this would not be up there with one of those, especially the way the main roster is having pay-per-views right now. But anyways, back to Dijak and Joe Gacy, no holds barred match. Again, just so a lot of standard, hardcore match stuff. Nothing to write home about, really. I mean, it was kind of fun to see Dijak get slammed through a table with a bunch of toys on it. Being a father of 5, I just know how, how dreadful that can actually be. Just stepping on toys, so getting slammed through them. Yeah, I'm guessing that doesn't feel great. In the end, Dijak gets the win. He hits his finishing, his go to sleep move, and the feast your eyes, I guess. And he gets a 1, 2, 3, and I guess the story out of this is supposed to be that, yeah, Joe is still crazy because as he's laying there knocked out, he's still got like a big smile on his face. So then we will go to the next match, and this was OTM versus the Family. I really enjoy both of these teams, both of the skits that both of these groups have. I like seeing, the fun, out of the ring promos that they do for these guys, just like following them around, doing their mafia and gangster stuff that they do with the videos of these guys. It's fun. It's really fun. It makes them entertaining. It gives their character something to do and give you something to be entertained and interested in. So I like them all for that. None of these people are horrible wrestlers. Some of them are good, but none of them, again, none of them being great. And in general, in this match, you could just tell how green a majority of the wrestlers in this match are. I think Tony and shoot, I can't, having brain fart. I can't even think of the other guy's name, but Tony and the underboss guy, they're the most experienced. And again, even then, it's not like they've been in it for super long, I don't think. So the match was what it was. It was nothing great. In the end, the Family gets the win, and I guess we're gonna see where it goes from there. Again, I enjoy both of these groups. Just not much to talk about in that match. So let's get to the next one, which was Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez for the women's championship. Of course, there was great wrestling in this. I love Lyra Valkyria. I love Roxanne Perez. They're both amazing, amazing wrestlers. So they were going one on one, and it was a blast to watch. And then Lola Vice comes out and cashes in her contract to make it a triple threat match. And right away, Lola gets in there. She knocks Perez out of the ring, and then she gets right into getting a bunch of submission locks in a row. Or wait, did she knock like Kyria out of the ring first, and then she was getting a bunch of submission locks right away, right on Roxanne? I think that's how. Yeah, that's how it worked out. She was getting all the submission locks on Roxanne Perez because then Lyra came in to break it up by doing a splash from the top rope. Again, fun to see that. And then we got to see Perez start to fire up. She's hitting both of them with tope suicidas through the ropes. And then Lyra gets in there. Perez is about to hit her with a splash off the top rope, but Lyra catches her, rolls through, reverses it, and hits Perez with the night wish. And then, we're going at it for a while. A couple more moves where Perez hits the pop rocks on, who did she hit it on? I should have wrote it down. But anyways, Perez hits the pop rocks. I think it was on Lola Vice. But Tatum Paxley got in there and she started interfering. She runs into Roxanne Perez, and they go like falling out of the ring. And then Lyra goes in, takes advantage of this. She picks up Lola and hits her with the Night Wish. Lola gets the win and retains the title. Again, for me, we can talk about people who need to be on the main roster right away. Roxanne Perez. That's why I don't feel too bad that she lost this match. She needs to get up to the main roster yesterday. She's been ready. She's going to be a great baby face up there. She's going to be a new fresh face on the main roster. Get her up there. She's been ready since she was signed to WWE. I think it was just like going through the motions of putting her in NXT in the first place. So get her up on the main roster. Lyra, I think she's good enough to be up on the main roster as well, but she's women's champion right now. You keep her there. She can be the next, person who's the veteran of NXT in the women's division here for the next 6 months to a year to make sure that the next crop of women is getting trained properly and has somebody good to go against. Lola Vice, I was really impressed by her in this match. I've seen a couple of her other matches where it's just kind of like, she's just okay. But in this one, she really got into it. The submission locks looked great. Her kicks looked great. I think in general, I was really impressed by how far she's come already, and I'll be looking forward to watching her improve even more over time. All right, so there you go. Lyra Valkyria retains her title. Let's get into our next match. This was Oba Femi versus Dragon Lee for the North American Championship. Again, we've already seen Dragon Lee on the main roster quite a bit. Oba Femi, he looks the part, right? But he's got a long way to go in the ring, and this match in general was too long. This is your classic David and Goliath, and just to tell you now, Oba Femi won and retained his North American Championship, which is fine because again he's the Goliath, and sometimes the Goliath wins, right? He's that big huge monster compared to Dragon Lee. I just don't prefer when the the Goliath character, the giant character, is gonna win in the end. It doesn't need to be that long. If the giant's gonna win because he's so much more overpowering, get to it. All right. That this match only needed to be 5 to 10 minutes. I don't have I don't have the exact amount of time this went, but however long it was too long. It needed to be cut on in half by whatever the actual match time was of this match. Uh, Again, not that Obafemi looked horrible. He looked okay for somebody who's only been doing this a very short amount of time, but I don't think it did anybody any favors. Dragon Lee doesn't look good for you know losing to somebody who's still so new. And it wasn't one of the best Dragon Lee matches because Obafemi is so new. Um, and that's saying a lot because Dragon Lee usually has good matches no matter what, but just Obafemi is just too green right now. And then again, to me, it doesn't make Obafemi look good to in the win and he wins. But if you're telling me he's the giant character, then for him to take that long to take down the smaller character just doesn't really make him seem stronger than I already thought he was. So not a great match in my eyes. So there you go. There's that match. Let's get on to our next one. The next one was the main event: Ilya Dragunov versus Trick Williams for the NXT Championship. And this one was fun, right from the beginning. Again, just how much the crowd is behind Trick Williams, doing the whoop that trick when he comes out to the ring. Carmelo was feeling it on the entrance as well. They're looking like, hey, they're going to be friends, right? You always get to enjoy Ilya Dragunov and his intensity when he comes out to the ring. And then they got the match going. And again, it was good, right? Good match throughout the match. Ilya again, so intense. Trick, all that charisma. But they were holding back. They were really both going for it. I mean, Trick, you got to respect Trick. He stepped up. If you're gonna go against Dragunov, that matches can be hard hitting. So for him to step up and give it right back and take it as well during this match, got to give a lot of respect to Trick for that. He got bloodied up. Dragunov got bloodied up. It did make the match seem that much more intense just to see the blood from them, right? Let's see. Of course, Carmelo was out at ringside, so this is going to play a factor into the match. Carmelo, he starts talking trash to Ilya. Ilya pushes him. Carmelo swings at him, but misses. Already, right there, I was already thinking, like, that's not a good sign. Because Carmelo knows if he hits Ilya, that's going to be a disqualification, and that ends Trick's chances right there. So already he shouldn't have been getting involved in the way he was getting involved there. Anyways, he swings and misses. Ilya pushes him, and then Carmelo basically blocks Tricks in the back of his knee. This not on purpose because Ilya pushed him, right? So you're continuing the match. You go, okay, that was an accident. He didn't mean to do that, but that could cost him, and that's going to cause them problems later down the line for their friendship. You're already thinking that in the back of your mind. So Trick now, he's got to work with an injured knee the rest of the match. In fact, he's about to hit a move on Ilya, but of course his knee gives out, and Ilya is able to take advantage of this. He hits an H bomb, then he hits an H bomb from the second rope. But of course, Trick is able to kick out. He's still got plenty of fight in him, so he gets up. Boom! He gets a spinning kick, gets the near 3 count. Doesn't quite get it. Then Carmelo again get involved. I think again it looks like he is trying to help here. He's trying to distract Ilya, right? Because he's thinking, oh well, Trick has him right where he wants him, but he kicked out of that. So maybe if I can distract him, that'll give Trick the chance to hit another move on him and finish him off. Well, doesn't quite work out that way. Trick's up on the apron, and now, of course, the referee is walking over there to deal with that. And Ilya's back is turned to Trick. Of course, Trick he goes to hit Ilya. Ilya moves out of the way last second. Trick ends up hitting the ref and knocking out the ref. But anyways, Ilya, he's still kind of out of sorts. So Trick is able to run off the ropes and hit the Trick knee. Boom, hits the pin. They're counting. The crowd is counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're going on and on. But of course, there's no ref there because Trick had accidentally knocked out the referee already after Carmelo had distracted the ref and got in the way. A ref comes running down, starts to count 1, 2, boom, Ilya kicks out. Great near fall spot. But everybody in the crowd has seen it now. Hey, Trick had this one. He should have won. He should be champion. So everybody's got that in their mind now as well. So multiple things in the back of our mind. Hey, Carmelo did something there that actually would have cost Trick the match. Then he did something to save him. Then he did something that looked like he was trying to help him, but now it ended up actually costing him the match. You got all this stuff ringing in the back of your head. Then Trick Ilya, where did I miss? I feel like I missed something. Oh yeah, they got the 1, 2, 3 now. Ilya, he's got advantage again, and he's about to hit another H bomb on Trick, but Trick gets the knees up. But then again, there's a distraction, so there's a little bit of a delay. Trick goes over to one corner. Ilya goes over to the other corner. He's had enough time to kind of recover now. They both charge at each other. This looked awesome, by the way. They're both in opposite corners, running as hard as they can at each other. They both lunge at each other, but Ilya, he is able to hit the torpedo Moscow. Boom. Ilya wins. He gets the 1, 2, 3. He retains his championship. Now you got all this stuff going in the back of your mind about what's going to happen between Trick and Mello now. Carmelo gets in the ring. Ilya leaves. He's celebrating. Carmelo gets in the ring to console Trick. Tell him like, hey, you had it. You were this close, man. You were so close. They hug it out. Classic NXT move. The logo goes up on the screen. It looks like they're about to end the broadcast, but no. Mello, as it looks like he's about to walk away and the show's going to end, he attacks Trick. He hits him this time on purpose. He hits him with a chop block to the back of the knee. Then he goes and grabs a metal chair and smashes it over and over and over and over again on Trick's knee. And now you just got to wonder, how badly is Trick hurt? How long is he going to be out? he's, you know, he's going to have an injured knee now, and it's going to be Carmelo's fault. And you know, that's going to lead to a fun WrestleMania weekend match, I think, between Trick and Mello. And that was the end of NXT Vengeance Day. Again, overall, just a so-so pay-per-view for me. Not one of the better NXT pay-per-views, but still entertaining. Yeah, so let's talk about it. Trick and Mello going to be a great pay-per-view WrestleMania weekend matchup. So let's talk about that WrestleMania weekend, huh? Because since the last time we talked, which was Royal Rumble, we were all excited. Cody pointed at the WrestleMania side. He turns around. He points at Roman. So that's where we're going, right? I don't know now. We got this hashtag, we want Cody, but I don't know if that's what we're getting. We saw Seth Rollins come in on Raw, beg and plead and grovel and try to make his case of why Cody should choose him. And we all saw it and went, oh no, Cody, don't choose Seth. Please don't choose Seth. Because he came out there and begged and made a fool of himself and just made that champ, basically said out loud all the reasons why that championship is the #2 championship. So we're like, oh no, we want Cody to finish the story, but we want the people who are Cody fans, they want it to be the most epic story that it can be for Cody. They want him to beat the big bad guy, not the good guy who comes in and begs and pleads for his case why he should be picked. And then SmackDown came along and Roman buried that championship even further, talking about how, Seth is a #2 guy. That's the losers bracket championship. I mean, he made the perfect point. Like, hey, everybody who's going for that championship, I already beat him. Seth already beat him too. That's the losers bracket champion. If you want to be the #2 guy, the very best #2 guy, then that's the championship to go for. But if you actually want to be the guy in the company, like Roman is, then you have to beat him. It's like Ric Flair always said, to be the guy, you have to beat the guy. And to be the guy right now, you have to beat Roman because he's the guy. So we all want to see Cody beat the guy and win the championship and truly be the guy of the company. Like nobody's, clamoring for Roman Reigns to be the guy of the company for years and years to come. Everybody's clamoring for it to be Cody because they think it can be Cody for the next, 3 to 5 years. He could be the one that's carrying this company for years down the line right now. And he's good at it. I mean, you see him in promos, you see him in interviews, you see him in press conferences. The man is so good at all of it. He's so good for the face of the company. That's who you would want to be out there, like promoting it and being the face of your company. But of course, after Roman made all these choices, Cody comes out there and says, yes, in fact, Roman, you're right. Again, burying Seth's championship even more because Cody is saying, yes, you're right. I do want the championship you have. In fact, I'm still going to come for it because that's the thing that I want the most now. And, not only do I want to take that from you, I want to take everything from you. So that is all sounding really good, right? Until Cody says, but not at WrestleMania. And then The Rock comes out. And then we just end SmackDown with Rock and Roman having a face-off. No words spoken between the two, just inching closer and closer to each other and facing off. Yeah, so nothing has been announced officially, but it sure is looking like it's going to be Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania because Cody said the words himself. I'm coming for you. I want everything you have, but not at WrestleMania. I talked to this guy. I spoke to all these legends for counsel. And one of these people that I took counsel for, well, guess what? It was The Rock. And now he's here because he wants to face you. And it just does not feel good, right? It's like I said, it just doesn't feel like that's the thing we wanted the most, which is insane to say. I have been wanting The Rock versus Roman for years. For me, that is a dream match. And you know what? I'm actually still very excited it's happening. I'm just not excited. I'm not as excited as I could be because of the circumstances. It feels like we're getting Rock versus Roman at the expense of Cody versus Roman because I want Cody versus Roman as well. But it feels like we're getting Cody versus Seth or someone else because we have to do the Rock and Roman now. And again, that you have to just be so frustrated about everything going on with Vince McMahon right now because they're saying that's one of the reasons why they're doing it because they feel like this is a headline that's going to take away from that. That's horrible. And then CM Punk going and getting injured. They're saying that's the other reason because now they lost their other headline match that they wanted to have. So they needed to come up with another big headline match that could get headlines in different media outlets. So they felt like this was a way to keep that a thing this year. That maybe The Rock versus Roman wasn't going to be till later down the line, but now they're going to do it now. Just doesn't feel right, you know. It feels like it should be at WrestleMania. I mean, if Cody still comes for Roman, you know what? At SummerSlam, at Survivor Series, whatever. I mean, it's still going to be good, and I'm still going to love it, especially if Cody beats Roman. That's going to be awesome. But those aren't the biggest stage. I mean, it could all have culminated perfectly. The biggest match at the biggest stage with the biggest result. It could have all been like a perfect trifecta of things right there, but because whatever's going on with CM Punk's injury, not being able to be at WrestleMania now, all the horrible stuff going on with Vince, and now The Rock being back, then now we don't get that, and it sucks. And fans are upset. You should see online on social media, people are going nuts. On YouTube, people are going out of their way to go to the WWE page on and there's a video of The Rock and Roman facing each other, and it's got over 300,000 dislikes. Like in like a 24-hour period, it received over 300,000 dislikes. So I'm gonna look it up right now. Exactly how many dislikes does this video have? I'm gonna go find it right now, and we're gonna tell you how many dislikes does this thing have. Let's see. Is it even up here now? Okay, here we go. Here we go. Rock and Roman face off. Come on. Show me. Of course, it's not showing me. Anyways, last time I checked and I was able to see, it had over 300,000 dislikes. It's probably way more than that by now. Um, and that night when that was happening, like 15 out of the top 30 trends on on X or Twitter um, were all wrestling related, and they were all about Cody, The Rock, and Roman. The the biggest one being was hashtag poor Cody. That was like trending number 5 in the United States, and then today, at some point, we want Cody was trending number 1. I'm doing this at the end of the day, so it's not number 1 anymore. But it's still been trending all day long. I've been seeing a bunch of fans tweeting it. I've seen a lot of WWE wrestlers, current and former, tweeting it. Different wrestling legends tweet it. You know, there's celebrities tweeting it and getting like 50,000 likes. Like Gabriel Iglesias, I saw his tweet where he said we want Cody and posted a picture of him and Cody together, and it had like 50,000 likes when I saw it. It's insane. They announced that there's going to be a press conference on Thursday in Las Vegas at the Super Bowl media day, and tonight during NXT Vengeance, actually, when they showed the promo for that, they just showed the little picture and like they were reading off the promo of like, oh, the press event, Las Vegas Thursday, 7 o'clock Eastern. Check it out. We'll have announcements about WrestleMania at the Super Bowl, media row. And fans in attendance at NXT Vengeance were booing that graphic of Roman and Rock together. It's just gotten insane. So it'll be really fun and to see what the reaction is from this from WWE themselves. Like, are they going to to do something to like swerve us now and put Cody back in that match, or are they just gonna go, well, we already said this is what we're doing, so we're just gonna go ahead and go forward with it. It's gonna be Rock versus Roman and Cody versus someone else. We're not gonna have Cody involved in Rock versus Roman. It's gonna be really, really interesting to see over the next few months on how WWE handles this. Because that's one of the most fun things about wrestling, right? They can have something written and something planned, but the fan reaction can be so intense one way or the other that it can force them to, change plans. So we'll see how it works out. Either way, I'm excited. That's what's like for me internally. There's that battle because I'm excited for Cody to finish his story, even if it's not against Roman. I'm excited. I want to see him win a championship. I want to see him hold up a title and dedicate it to his dad and have that moment. And maybe if they have a match against Seth, maybe that is. Maybe that's the belt he wins and says, you know what? Seth made a good point. This is the workhorse belt. I'm winning this one. And this win and this belt, I dedicate to my dad, that he never got to hold, the top title in, he didn't get to hold the WWE championship. But then he says, but now I need to do something for myself. I need to go after Roman. I need to avenge my, the first time I should have won at WrestleMania. I need to get that back. And I'm going to do that for myself. And maybe that could be the story. Hey, I did this for my father. Now I have something else that I need to do for myself. You know, that's one way to go about it. I don't know what they're going to do though. It's again, it's going to be real fun to see. Anyways, let me know what you think about a couple things. I want to know in the comments, what did you think of NXT Vengeance Day overall? What grade would you give it? For me, you know, again, the wrestling wasn't horrible. You know, the stories weren't horrible. Um, it wasn't the greatest, so I'm gonna give it, a B minus. And then let me know what your thoughts are about the hashtag We Want Cody. Are you getting in on that? Do you want Cody? Is that what you're wanting to see at WrestleMania? Or, again, like I said, internal battle for me. I'm really happy to see Cody win a championship. Um, it's a bummer that The Rock is getting involved right at this moment, and it seems like that takes it away from Cody. But yet, I do want to see The Rock and Roman go against each other. So I am excited about that match as well. So again, just internally, just a lot of battle of the internal emotions of being excited yet upset at the same time. Let me know how you're feeling about it. All right, well, that is going to be the episode. Thank you so much for checking out the Marked Wrestling Show. And see you later, Marks.